What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to episode 4, week 4 of Hit the Books podcast. We're here with myself, Jesse Cox. We got Michael Mackey and Tyler Huffnagel. Come on, boys, say hi to everyone.
What's going on, guys? Back for week 4. Excited to get going.
Hopefully we can get back on the winning side this week. We said it last week, but I got a couple picks in the books that hopefully they can get some hits for us and make us some money.
All right, you guys got any good stories for the people?
Yeah, Huff, didn't you have some nice prop bets this weekend?
Yeah, actually didn't start off too good with the team card not going too hot. Went 1-3 on the weekend. I looked at the Sunday night game, Packers, Niners, and I thought I had to make up some units. And I looked at Aaron Jones on the first touchdown, and it didn't hit, but it was a risk-free, and I got my risk-free bet, and I went right back down on him for the second one. Plus 600, I hit that. That was a nice 175.
Was that Brandon Ayuk?
Yeah, no, that was the Aaron Jones, and then I waited a touchdown because they scored so fast, and then I go right back for the fourth touchdown. I get Brandon Ayuk at plus 1,200, bring home a nice $550. That was a nice way to end the Sunday night, I'll tell you that.
I wish I could hit those.
Don't we all?
The nice touchdown bets, you got to look at them. You got to look.
Let's jump right into it with week 4 on Thursday, September 30th at 8:20 p.m. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are favored at minus 7.5 currently, money line at minus 370, and the over-under at 46.5. Huff, you got anything good for this one?
Personally, we know how Thursday Night Football goes. It can always come down to a possession or two. And I think personally this one's going to come down to a last-second field goal. I like the Jags on the plus 7.5. I think the Bengals are going to win the game. Wouldn't surprise me if the Jags came out on top and Trevor Lawrence gets his first win the season. They're 0-3. They're looking to turn things around quick before it gets out of hand. I think we all know this isn't a big year for the Jaguars with a lot of expectations, but I think going into Cincinnati, I think they have a chance. It's a banged-up Cincinnati team. They're missing guys like T. Higgins. He's out still. I don't know. I think 7.5 is a little too much for Cincinnati for me to have them cover.
Yeah, you're asking for too much with Cincinnati covering 7.5
Yeah, they're not.
points.
Their offensive line, it's just they got Mixon, they got all the skill guys, but the line and the core positions, they just don't have what it takes to win big games by 2 possessions. I mean, I know Jacksonville's not proven, but I don't know. I like the Jags on the plus 7.5.
So I got a couple trends here. The Jaguars have lost 18 straight games. The Bengals are 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games at home. And this is the first time since 2017 that Cincinnati is a home favorite of 7 or more points.
Yeah, I think that's saying it right there. They shouldn't be trusted on the 7.5 points.
First look at this over-under. I like that 46.5 under.
Yeah, I don't think either team could be trusted to put up the points.
Yeah.
Low scoring game plus 7.5.
17-13 since he wins.
It's just two teams that can't really be trusted. Trevor Lawrence, he hasn't really showed anybody anything.
I was just looking at Trevor Lawrence's number for over 1.5 touchdowns, and it was plus 130, I believe. I'm not too 134. I'm not too big a fan of that.
I don't think you can bet on the guy
I can see.
right now.
Yeah, he's not really proven much to me, but I don't know. I like Cincy to come out on top here, 17-13. If you want to take the over-under, I like under 46.5, definitely. But I like the Jags on the plus 7.5 again.
Let's move on into our first game on Sunday, 1 p.m., the Washington football team at the Atlanta Falcons. We got the Washington football team at minus 1.5, a rather low spread this week. Minus 112 on the money line, the over-under set at 48. The total has gone over in 4 of the last 5 games between these clubs. Atlanta is 5-0 straight up in its last 5 games when playing Washington.
I think that streak ends here. I don't think Atlanta's very good at all. They escaped the Giants last week on a last-second field goal. It's exactly how I expected that game to end. Atlanta just ended up coming on top. But minus 1.5 here, I like Washington to cover the spread.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I don't have too much faith in Atlanta this year. Their defense can't really hang with anyone.
And Matt Ryan's washed.
Yeah, he's putting up the yards. He has 700 yards, 4 touchdowns, but he has 3 picks to go along with those 4
He's
touchdowns.
a turnover machine.
I mean, but he has a guy like Ridley where he can just throw the ball deep, where we said that week 1, where you can just throw it to him any play he wants, and Ridley's going to get the yards that he can get. But
Which is why Matt Ryan's yards are going to be up a little.
up always,
Throw the ball up to Ridley, he's
exactly.
gonna
When he
catch
had
it.
Julio all those years, and I mean, he's that kind of player. He can throw the ball, but their line is so bad. Did you see that thing with the guy they drafted? He said, if you want your quarterback to be protected, draft me. What's his name? I can't think of his name. I'm going to look it up. He's tweeted out, like, during the draft, if you want your quarterback to be protected, draft me. And last week there was a picture of him getting pancaked and Matt Ryan getting absolutely blown up, dude. It was so funny.
That's so Atlanta.
I got to find who this is. All right. I found his name. All right. Jalen Mayfield from Michigan. He quote tweeted a video of his highlight reel and said, if you don't want your quarterback hit, take me. It's that simple.
And then there's a picture.
There's a picture of him getting absolutely flipped by who the Falcons play last week?
Giants.
I don't know who this on the Giants defensive line, but
somebody on the Giants defensive line.
He got blown up.
Blew him up.
But yeah, I don't know. I like Washington -1.5. I think I don't have too much faith in the Falcons. Whether they're at home, give me Washington.
The next 1 o'clock game, Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. We got the Chicago Bears favored at -3, -154, and the over-under set at 42.
And yeah, 2 more awful teams here. I mean, it's just a bad game.
Yeah, with the quarterbacks missing for Chicago. I mean, Fields didn't look that good last week.
They had 46 yards offense. They were terrible. I think the Lions win this one. I like them +130. Jared Goff hasn't really had a bad season. They're 0-3, but the team's just been.
Yeah, I agree.
He has no one to work with.
I'll give him the 3 just in case. The -122.
I definitely like the Lions
on
here.
the road, but yeah, I like the Lions. I'm gonna give him the 3.
Justin Fields just can't play
they're
at
on
an
the
NFL
road.
level.
He's hurt. He's not playing this week. Him and Andy Dalton.
Him and Andy Dalton.
Yeah, and I saw something. Maybe their 3rd string guy might not even be able to go.
Oh my God! Lions +3. Book it now.
Yeah.
Lions +3 is a lock this week at -122. Looks like it might start to move.
Yeah, it's definitely going to 2.5 very soon. -3 for Chicago, sitting at +100.
And moving forward, we got the Tennessee Titans at the New York Jets. We got the Titans favored at -7, money line at -330, and the over/under set at 43.5. The Jets are 9-2 against the spread in their last 11 games against Tennessee. And Tennessee is 5-1 straight up in its last 6 games on the road. So, what are you guys thinking?
I think Derrick Henry runs for over 200 yards.
Yeah, Tennessee -7.
I like Tennessee's going to steamroll them.
Yeah, the Jets are. I have faith in the Jaguars this week to turn things around and cover a 7.5 point spread. I wouldn't put my money on the Jets if they're probably 8.5 in this game.
Zach Wilson is awful.
Yeah, he looked terrible again last week. The Jets are bad.
Jets are probably the worst team in the NFL. There's not many teams I would think that they could beat.
They really are. Jets, Falcons. The Falcons at least have like a proven quarterback and a receiver. At least. They just don't have anything else.
I really like Tennessee -7 here.
Yeah, Tennessee -7.
All right. Now we got the Cleveland Browns at the Minnesota Vikings. We got the Browns favored at -2, money line at -134, and the over/under set at 51.5. I think I'm liking Browns -2 here. Got some trends to follow up on that. Cleveland is 5-1 against the spread in its last 6 games on the road. Cleveland is also 4-1 against the spread in its last 5 games. So a lot of games covering.
I like their chances here.
I agree.
I think the Browns are still a little underrated. I think -2 here is free money. I don't want to. It could be a trap game.
That's the only thing I'm thinking is this could, like last week, how you said that.
Minnesota was a trap game last week. They're not going to do the same thing twice.
And we took Seattle.
We fell into it.
We fell right into it.
I'm just hoping that I'm not falling into it again.
Into it again 2 weeks in a row. Browns -2. Hopefully not against the Vikings.
Yeah, I think Browns cover here with flying colors.
Yeah, I like Cleveland. That over/under is kind of scary because it's in a dome. Minnesota's inconsistent as hell.
Cleveland always has a high over/under.
Yeah. Their defense is so good. I just don't see Minnesota scoring a lot of points.
Yeah, Browns -2. Next up, we got the Colts versus the Dolphins. Dolphins are minus 1.5 at minus 136. The over/under set at 42.5. This is a tough game to bet on, Huff. What do you think here?
Jacoby Brissett playing his old team, the Colts, coming to see his new town, Miami. The 1.5 is a spread where I'm just going to take one of the money lines.
You're just going to take the money line. You're not going to take 1.5 spread.
Did you end up finding out if Carson Wentz is playing in this game?
Oh, I did not.
That could change things here because I do like the Colts, but I also think Brissett he showed last week that he can put up points.
I think if Carson Wentz plays, then Colts are a while.
That's going to be my determining factor. If Wentz is playing, I'll take the Colts on the plus money.
It says he's injured.
I think Eason's playing.
Who's Eason?
Jacob Eason. They drafted him last year. Over under 42.5. I don't know. That's low. And it's the under is favorited. I don't know. I like the Colts a lot, and that's why I'm thinking I want to do Miami at home.
Miami is 6-1 against the spread in its last 7 games at home.
Give me Miami.
Wentz will be limited at practice Wednesday. No doubt regarding the signal call.
I will double down on Miami. Miami money line.
Miami money line.
All right, Miami money line.
Next, we got the Carolina Panthers at the Dallas Cowboys. Mackey and his Dallas Cowboys are favored at minus 4.5. Money line at minus 220, and the over/under set at 50.5.
No McCaffrey.
Can we talk about that slaughter fest last week?
You're playing Beals Eagles, dude.
Bills Eagles.
Everyone wanted to take the Eagles.
Because of the one guy that had $71,000 riding on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Everyone forgot about Dak Prescott.
Why does everyone always think that when they make these crazy parlays, they're like, all right, Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football, I got to do the crazy underdog to try to get the big payout. Like, I'm not saying I could hit a 16-legger, but
Philly is not good.
Yeah,
everyone forgot Dak Prescott.
Dude,
his potential.
I didn't take any spread on that game.
41 points.
I loved Dallas. I loved Dallas going in. I should have taken it. You know what I did take that you taught me? The first quarter tie. And Dallas was driving. No. Dallas was driving down the field, dude. It was 7-7. I was freaking out. They were in field goal range, and the time was just ticking. It was like a minute 30 left. And that's when they threw the touchdown to what's the tight end? 86?
Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, they threw the touchdown to him before the end of the first quarter. And I was just like, I was sitting there, I'm like, all right, we got a minute 30. Let's go, Philly. Let's get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, okay. Little did you know.
Yeah, 14-7.
All right, Dallas minus 4.5 against the Panthers.
No McCaffrey. I think the Panthers are going to struggle. They got that 3-0 record going into this game, but without McCaffrey, I think they could easily fall to 3-3 very fast in the next 3
And they also had a pretty easy schedule, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's like, did you see the meme about the Broncos? They were like, the Broncos 3-0, and it was like the Homer Simpson thing where he's holding back all the back fat, and it was like the teams with a combined record of 0-9.
Yeah.
It was like the Giants 0-3. Who was the other one? Who else 0-3?
Who have they played?
The 0-3 Giants, the 0-3 Jags, and the 0-3 Jets.
3 worst teams in the league.
Give me Dallas minus 4.5 here. I don't know how we just stumbled onto the Denver Broncos from this game, but give me Dallas minus 4.5.
Talk about 3-0 teams that shouldn't be 3-0.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we were talking about the Panthers are 3-0, and then, yeah, right. Bang. Back on track.
And next, we got the New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints. We got the Saints favored at minus 7.5. Money line at minus 335, and the over-under set at 41.5. Mackey, take it away.
Yeah, I know how bad the Giants are, but they always tend to cover spreads, especially ones that are 7.5.
Yeah, this is a bigger spread.
I don't think they're gonna win this game whatsoever, but I do see them covering 7.5. Saints come out on top.
I think so too, and I just happened to stumble upon a little teaser that I like.
Just now.
Via the FanDuel Sportsbook app, not sponsored. We're going to take Saints at minus 7.5 and the Chiefs at minus 7. We're going to give them both 5 points on the teaser. Little 2-leg teaser, 5 points. Brings your odds to minus 110. I think the Saints cover that field goal. They're at home. I don't know personally if they're still playing at their neutral site because of the hurricane, but I do like the Saints to win by a field goal. And back to that, or looking ahead to that Chiefs game, I think that Chiefs -7, taking it to -2. I think going into Philly, the Chiefs are going to win. Coming off two losses, I think Mahomes is going to go off this game.
I don't see how that doesn't hit him. Big teaser guy, Huff. You showed me teasers. Showed me the way of the teaser, if you will. I don't see how that doesn't hit.
The key is to stick to like 2 or 3 legs, and you can make some serious money on teasers.
Absolutely. You can't get too ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, and that's a good segue into the Kansas City Chiefs at the Philadelphia Eagles. That 7 for the Chiefs, -310, and the over-under set at 54.5. Anything good on this game, boys?
I kind of gave my 2 cents. I think the Chiefs win. I think they win. I like them. Give them I don't know if I like the 7. I think I do. Actually, who am I kidding? Yeah, I like the 7. I think the Chiefs kill the Eagles here. Probably by 10
Eagles
to 13.
Are bums.
Eagles, even at home, I'm taking Mahomes. They're off 2 losses. I think they're going to come into this game maybe 38-13, like something crazy.
Pat Mahomes is going to come in and drop a bomb on Philadelphia. He's going to put up at least 40 points.
They're clearly going to win here. I got Kansas City is 11-2 straight up in its last 13 games on the road, and Kansas City is 20-5 straight up in its last 25 games.
Yeah,
they haven't been covering spreads lately.
Right. I have nothing against the spread for the Chiefs. I got Philadelphia is 4-1 against the spread in its last 5 games at home, so they're covering spreads, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it this week.
No.
Yeah, they also just came off an ass beating themselves, so their confidence isn't too high as well.
Yeah. Give me the Chiefs -7, but don't forget about that little teaser to bringing them. I like those -110 odds on the Saints and the Chiefs. But looking right into this next game, we're going to take a look at the Houston Texans visiting the Buffalo Bills. Biggest spread of the weekend. We got Buffalo sitting -15.5, -114. Looking to go to -16.5 maybe, -16. Over-under is 47, even 47, and the money line for the Bills, 1,500.
I personally think the money line is a lock. I think everyone listening should put their whole bankroll on the -1,500 rather, and I think it's a lock. I think you're going to make all your money back and then some.
Take out a loan.
Put 15 bands on the Bills
put
money
15
line.
bands on it. You win a band.
You know what? Just for the fun of it, you should go up to your local sports book, your casino, and place it live so you can get the bet slip and post it and get on all the cool social medias.
Yeah, and you can be like that guy. Maybe DraftKings will fly you out to Vegas to watch the game.
Just because you bet on a -15.
-1,500 money line.
They're 150 on it, win $1.50 or $15.
Yeah, like the people that say like, oh, we don't unit shame.
We don't unit shame.
I mean, a win's a win. I don't.
At that point, you unit shame.
Yeah,
True.
you don't.
Yeah, Bills -15.5.
But-
Stay away from it. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm staying away from 15.5. That's
They're
way
gonna
too
win
big.
the game.
They're gonna win. 47. Don't like it. I don't like anything about this game.
Not much else to say.
Not my cup of tea.
All right, Cardinals Rams.
First 4 o'clock game.
It's a good game. It's a good game. We got both 3-0 teams coming in. The Arizona Cardinals visiting the Rams. Rams sitting at -4.5. Stafford and everything's looked good so far this season. You know, I think that's why the spread is sitting at 4.5 here. But you look at the money line at -240 and the over/under 55. You're gonna have a high over/under with two teams that are 3-0. I think the even number on 55. I never really liked that play. I'm not an over/unders guy, as we all know. But yeah, in the dome, Stafford's look good. But
I think this is where you see if Kyler Murray is really about it.
yeah,
I think the way that he plays this game shows, because he can win MVP. I think he's a good MVP candidate this year.
he could. I think so too. But
This is going to be a test for him.
Test,
It's tough defense. See what he can do.
he's getting 4.5. But I mean that doesn't matter in the MVP race. But in our conversation right now, that does matter. So who do you like here on the 4.5?
I like the Cardinals, giving them 4.5 points. This is going to be
I think it's going to be a close game. I got the LA Rams are 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games between these clubs. So I think it's going to be a close game. So I think the Rams might win, but I think the +4.5 is going to be sitting there.
Me personally, I'm taking the Rams. I think that this game, divisional matchup at home, Stafford's look good, Cooper Kupp's look good, their whole team has. I think this is a big game for Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, but I think the Rams, this is a different story if it's in Arizona, but week 4 we're talking in LA. I like the Rams to cover 4.5 personally, but I don't know. I can see both ways. I think it's going to be a close game, high scoring, but I think the Rams will come out on top probably around 31-24.
Give me the Cardinals here. I like Kyler Murray. I think he's been playing really well this year. The Rams got to lose games. They got to lose at some point, right? So this could be a game that they lose. They got to play him again. It's divisional matchup.
I see where you're coming from.
Plus 198 is also good odds, so I like Arizona here.
Next 4 o'clock game, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the San Francisco 49ers. We got the 49ers favored at -3. The over-under set at 52 and the money line at -148. Seattle is 13-2 in its last 15 games when playing San Francisco. I also got Seattle 6-1 straight up in its last 7 games when playing on the road against San Francisco. Lot of signs pointing at Seattle. What do we think?
Huff, what do you think about your Seahawks here?
They haven't looked good. Russ has, per usual. The rest of the team kind of hasn't. He didn't play great last week. This game kind of scares me. Seahawks it's a tough division.
They got to win games here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, though. 49ers coming off a loss to the Packers at home. Did they lose 2 in a row at home?
Russell Wilson's scary.
You
never know what Russell Wilson's going to come out.
I'd rather put my money on Russ than Jimmy Garoppolo, but watching that game last week, the 49ers have the ability to score. They have a good offense and a nice defense. They're a good team. I didn't really watch them much last year. They're a good team. And me being a Seahawks fan, I don't really like the 49ers at all. But Fred Warner, that linebacker they got players on the 49ers. I honestly think I'm leaning towards a -3, but I don't know. I probably won't touch this game. It's kind of a scary game for me.
Seattle's been struggling heavy. I don't know.
I want Seattle to come out and play well. I like the -3, I think. Or the +3. I really hope they can make things work this week.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's kind of all I have, too. It's kind of a scary game for me, like I said. I'm probably leaning more towards the 49ers, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to touch this game, but I'm going to root for my Seahawks through and through.
Yeah, I like the Niners money line here. That's all I really got for this game. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, that'll be a good game.
Next, we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Denver Broncos. We got the lowest spread of the week at -1. Money line at -108 in the Broncos' favor, and the over-under set at 44.5. Baltimore is 8-2 straight up in its last 10 games, being favored also at -108. They're even. Denver is 4-1 straight up in its last 5 games when playing at home against Baltimore, and Denver is also 4-1 against the spread in its last 5 games.
I love the Ravens money line.
This is a scary one here.
So even.
I love the Ravens money line.
As we talked about before, Denver hasn't played anyone remotely good yet, but
you know how those Instagram accounts always talk about contenders or pretenders?
Yeah. It's usually the Cowboys, but
the Broncos are a 3-0 team that's a pretender. We talked about it. The teams they played, the combined record 0-9.
You can't say that yet because they don't really have any credible wins, but they haven't lost either.
True,
they haven't
but
played bad.
I think Baltimore has the ability to go in there and win.
An injured Baltimore.
I just think the Ravens have more than just what they have in the running game with the running back position. They got the best runner, quarterback, runner, whatever you want to call him, Lamar. Dude, he's
fraud.
But I don't know. The +1, if you even want, it's not even worth it. Give me -108 money line.
Oh, it's even. It's -108.
Yeah, give me them on the money line. I think they come out on top. I think it's a high scoring game. 44.5 is a low number. I think
Baltimore
it's a high scoring
game.
I don't know what the weather's supposed to be that comes down to play in Denver, but yeah, I don't know. I like Ravens here.
I'm gonna go against you here. I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
All right.
I like the compelling arguments, gentlemen. Next, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Green Bay Packers. We got the Packers favored at -6.5. money line at minus 290, and the over-under set at 45.5. Interesting about this game is Huff and I are going to this game at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Huff, anything good about this one?
Other than the Steelers have looked terrible the past 2 weeks, don't have much
Get
to
rid of that
say
quarterback.
about their performance last week. We had them on the -3. Regretting it. They played terrible, but there is one thing that I love about this game. I'm relying heavily on the Steelers getting the ball first. I love the first possession punt. You don't get to pick which team it's for. It's just first possession punt on FanDuel, -130. We're hoping Steelers get the ball first, quick, 3 and out.
It's a quick 3 and out.
I'm not betting against my team in the final score, but I'm taking the first possession punt, -130. I think that's an easy prop bet for that game. I'm excited to watch that one hit in person.
I like that as well because Pittsburgh's not going to come out strong, most likely, and then they have a good defense to back it up.
If the Packers end up getting the ball and they have a chance to start slow, they started slow last week. I mean, they were winning, but they didn't start right out of the gate.
Yeah.
I think the Steelers have the ability to stop them if the Packers win the toss and decide to receive. But I honestly think if the Packers get the ball, they're going to kick it. Or if the Packers win the toss, they're going to kick it.
Yeah, most likely.
They're going to want to put the ball in Ben's hands immediately.
I like that bet.
You know what I mean?
I also like Packers -6.5 here. I don't think Steelers have any confidence right now.
Yeah, I just can't take that. I'm going to the game.
Obviously, you're also a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
But if I was to go with anything, I'd go Green Bay -6.5.
I like the first half. I saw a first half Green Bay -3.5. I think that's free money. It's like I said, it's going to be 10-3 or 14-3, maybe worse.
Something to think about.
Yeah, if the Steelers can get on the board, that could be a problem in the first half. But Steelers are known to start slow in the first half, so.
And now for the primetime Sunday night football game, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New England Patriots.
Tom Brady back in Foxborough.
We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at -7, money line -300, and the over-under set at 49.5. Do we see a rather high-scoring game here back in Foxborough for Tom Brady?
Personally, I don't see a high-scoring game. I see a lot of Mac Jones not being able to keep up with Tom Brady and his new team. I love Bucs -7. I think the spread should be at least 7.5. Try to get people to bite on that home team to lose or win by the touchdown. But I love the Bucs -7. I don't know about that over/under. That's scary in New England. I think Belichick might have he knows Brady, but I think Brady's going to come out and absolutely win this game by more than 10 points. I love the Bucs -7.
It's Brady back first game against Belichick.
Off a loss last week in LA. He's coming back.
Brady is actually playing.
This
Belichick
is basically a
not.
home game. Let's clarify that. The Buccaneers are going to the Patriots. This is an away game for everyone on the Bucs except Tom Brady. This
the most
is a home
important
game.
player on the field.
This is a home game for Tom Brady. Coming home to New England. They're going to love him. They're not going to boo him. This is not going to be a hard game for him. I don't see them covering 7 anyway.
I do truly think the fans are going to totally cheer for him and not
He handed them 6 Super Bowls.
Basically handed them to him.
It's like you said, it's literally going to be a home game for him. It's going to be a very interesting thing to watch.
Sunday Night Football, I'm so excited to watch that game. -7 Bucs.
Take it.
Lock it in.
All right. Now time for the Monday night primetime game. We got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Los Angeles Chargers. We got the Chargers favored at -3. The money line set at -158, and the over/under set at 52.5. Las Vegas is 6-1 straight up in its last 7 games on the road, giving you a little faith for that +134 money line. But we also got the LA Chargers are 6-1 against the spread in its last 7 games. They're also 6-1 straight up in their last 7 games.
I like the Chargers here.
Chargers look real good. Chargers look really good, especially coming off that win against the Chiefs. Justin Herbert just looks phenomenal.
I like Chargers -3. I don't know if the Raiders are getting back Josh Jacobs this week. I almost said Brandon Jacobs, wasn't it?
Raiders are 3-0.
Wasn't Brandon Jacobs that running back for the Giants?
For the Giants.
Yeah.
That
dude was sick.
You needed a yard, you got you a yard.
But I don't know if the Raiders are getting Josh Jacobs back this week. I'm trying to check that right now. He's still questionable.
I mean, the Raiders are 3-0. They've proved themselves.
They have. I love Chargers.
It's a tough game. Chargers are home, so I think they get the advantage. But I mean, I don't know. You can't. I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah, I like. I don't know. I like Chargers -3.
All right, we finished up with all the games. Now it's time to move into the team card. This week for the team card, we got the Bucks -7, Browns at -2, and the Jags at +7.5. Boys, you want to go over some of your picks for this week?
Huff, what do you got?
I'm hammering that first possession punt bet in Lambeau Field.
Love your props.
I will be there to watch it. I can't wait. I like Ravens money line, and I like Chargers -3 on Monday night.
I got Cardinals +4.5. I love Kyler Murray. I already explained it. And then I got Detroit Lions +3 in Chicago.
And then for myself, I got a couple interesting plays. Since we're going to the Steelers game, I have to take the Steelers +6.5, hoping for a movement to +7, +7.5.
It's looking like you're gonna get that.
I agree. So might wait for that, and then
You're gonna have to wait till you're gonna have to bet that before we leave.
Oh, you're right.
Sports betting not legal in the state of Wisconsin.
It is in Illinois. We're landing in Chicago. I can bet in Chicago.
True.
All right, we'll work on it.
Maybe only on the Barstool Sportsbook.
But then you're right. Honestly, you might be right. So, but I also have a heavy favorites parlay. I got the Chiefs at -310, the Saints at -335, the Bengals at -330, the Buccaneers at -300, and the Titans at -335 for a 5-leg parlay at +287. I think they're all locks. I think you just take the chance, you put some money on it, and you give it a try.
You're rooting two ways on Thursday Night Football.
Not necessarily. It's just rooting for a close game.
Right, correct.
I see it. I'm saying I see it. I just want you to know that that's happening.
You're 100% right. I understand where you're going for. I guess I'm doing this as a...
That's more of a long shot.
Correct.
You got 5 legs. I mean, not really long shot. They're all heavy favorites, but...
Right, but I'm not a 5-leg guy.
Yeah.
But...
I like it.
Just something to think about.
I see some hope. I see some light at the end of the tunnel.
I like that. Chiefs. Can you say that again? Chiefs?
Chiefs, Saints, Bengals, Bucks, Titans, +287.
Titans, Bucks, Chiefs. Love that. Bengals. I can see it.
Bengals is the only game that might be...
Yeah, we like the 7.
Just because it's Thursday night. Only because it's Thursday night.
No, I can see that game come down to a touch or a field goal. Though.
If you pull it out, I think...
We do have 7.5, though.
Yeah, 7.5.
So it's like touchdown, we're good.
True.
Very
Very true.
it.
Love it. 7.5. Let's go, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, team card, Bucks.
Time to show up. We've been saying it all season. Is it time for Trevor Lawrence to turn things around
I think it's just about that time.
against Joe Burrow?
Bucks -7, Browns -2, Jags +7.5. That's what we got this week.
Lock it, baby.
Lock it.
Let's turn things around.
And now we're going to do a little college football here. One game that I was looking at that I liked was Texas -5 against TCU. Texas had one bad game and then they got looked past, but I think they have a really good team this year. And then another game that I like is Syracuse +5 against Florida State. Florida State is 0-4. They've looked awful, and they keep getting points.
Yeah.
So I like Syracuse +5 there.
The one game I'm looking at, I like Florida -7.5 going to Kentucky. -7.5 is -112. The over/under is 55.5. High scoring game. I like Florida to come out on top there by 8 or more. The other one that I was looking at was Penn State, Indiana. Penn State -12.5 at home. Indiana's 2-2. Penn State's 4-0. I just think Penn State's has looked good all season. Sean Clifford's looked good. The defenses look good. I think Penn State comes out on top by 13 or more in this game as well. I don't know too much about that over/under. I don't know if Indiana's going to be able to keep up with them in that kind of pace, but I like Penn State on the 12.5 and Florida on the 7.5 for sure.
Yeah, I like it.
I also like Penn State on the 12.5 to stripe out for the Nittany Lions. I think they're going to be able to bring a lot of heat against an unranked Indiana team.
500 Indiana team. I don't think they're going to bring too much up to State College.
Yeah, agreed. Home game for the Nittany Lions is going to be a good one.
Another one I'm looking at is I like Iowa. Number 5, Iowa's going to Maryland. I think Maryland, it's looking like it's going to go to -3 for Iowa. I think Maryland +3.5. If you can get it before it goes to +3, I think that's a good bet at home.
Yeah, I like Maryland there. I think that Tagovailoa kid's pretty good.
Yeah, he has 10 touchdowns and 1 pick on the year.
Yeah. proved himself.
Yeah, he's looked good so far. I mean, he looked good last year, but I think with another year under his belt, he looked good week 1 against WVU.
He's the reason they beat us. We had a better team than them.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Maryland, they're 4-0. Iowa's 4-0. Maryland just doesn't have the strength of schedule.
I also think Iowa's underrated.
Or the strength
or
of wins,
overrated.
I mean.
I don't think they play very good teams.
Who has Iowa played? It's like
I was looking at their schedule. They haven't really played anyone very good.
last week Iowa beat Colorado State 24-14.
Yeah, like
The week before that,
Nothing crazy.
Iowa beat Kent State 30-7. The week before that, Iowa beat Iowa State 27-17.
that was their big win.
Yeah. Well, they were 18 and they beat 17 Indiana, 34-6.
Well, Indiana. That was
It's now
week one.
500.
That was week 1.
Yeah, it's now 500.
They had a lot of problems coming into the season. It just didn't work out.
And that quarterback got hurt, I think.
Bryce Purdy.
Is that his name?
Yeah, he's Heisman candidate.
Yeah. I like the 2 picks that I said. The Florida, -7, Penn State. But I also like Maryland, 3.5, +3.5. Alrighty, and another thing that we're going to start to introduce to the podcast as we get later into the calendar year, we're going to start to look at, NBA games, NHL games as they come onto the calendar and onto the page for able to be bet on and watch games. And I think there's a lot of upside this year going into the NHL season, the NBA season. You look at things in the NBA that's happened over the summer, like, this rebuilt Lakers team or a lot of the things going on. Brooklyn's getting all their players back. I think there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to be able to talk about and some content that we want to get out to you guys about the NBA and looking at the NHL. I think coming from 3 former hockey players, 2 playing in college, 1, all of them playing in high school and travel when they were younger, I think we have a lot of, opinions on the hockey, not saying NHL that we know too much about that stuff, but I think that we're going to be able to bring a lot of content NHL-wise and NBA. I think it's one thing that we can talk football all day, but we can talk college and pro, but I think a lot of the things that we want to talk about are more than just football. I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah, it's important to hop on the trends early, anything that we see, because by halfway through the season, Vegas has picked up on everything. So hopping on teams that are really good earlier in the season is important.
Yeah, I'm really excited to jump into some NBA, especially some NHL. It's going to be a great time. I think we're going to have a lot of good takes, a lot of good things to say, and bring you guys the best we can.
And I know a lot of people are probably thinking MLB is going on right now. No one's talking about MLB in the first 4 weeks. I don't bet MLB. It's too inconsistent. At this point, Vegas caught on. It's way too hard to bet. I don't even go there. It's too hard. And personally, out of the 4 major sports, I know the least about baseball. So
Just scary. And that's going to do it for us here on this episode of Hit the Books podcast. Be sure to check us out on our various social media platforms. Instagram at hitthebooks.pod, Twitter at hitthebooks_pod, website at hitthebookspod.com for all the latest on Hit the Books. And be sure to always study hard.
gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.